Hello, I'm Bobbie Butters and this is a masterclass in the bench press. So today we're going to cover 3 key things that I feel like is important when discussing bench press. And that is the setup itself, leg drive and leg drive timing, and also the bar path itself. When you're looking at bench press setup, I take a top-down approach. So first of all, I look at where my feet are, make sure my feet are in line, and then I get myself set up onto the bench. And I set my shoulders, make sure my bum is glued to the bench, and then I set my hands ready to lift off the pins. So the next point we're going to discuss is leg drive and leg drive timing. So some people will use leg drive more, some people will use leg drive less, depending on how you're going to bench press. So something that I do is the bar actually sinks ever so slightly when I rest the bar on my chest without losing tightness. And then as I start pressing, I then drive my feet into the floor. I don't go straight down with my leg drive. I essentially are pushing my foot forwards and away from me so that the force is going into the floor at an angle to then help me drive the bar up and off my chest. The timing of that is the most important part. You don't want to start pressing and then use your legs, because you're going to then lose the drive that you've created. So it's making sure that as you start pressing, that is the moment that you drive your legs into the floor and pushing away from you. Okay, so the final thing that I'm going to talk about today is the bar path, which I feel like is kind of one of the most important things to kind of get right from the beginning. So if you are new to bench press, this might be the first thing that you decide that you want to focus on. After you've paused on your chest, what you need to do is drive the bar kind of almost back towards your shoulders, so you end up with something called a J curve. So it's come down onto your chest, and then as you push off your chest, you're pushing back towards your shoulders. The reason being is it ensures that the bar is actually driving towards your shoulder, the thing that's pressing it. If you press straight up, you actually end up with the bar in front of your shoulder, which again, the thing that's pressing it, if you will. So as of 2023, there is going to be a new bench press rule. Previously, the bench press rules were ensuring that your heels, bench and shoulders and head were in contact with the bench kind of the whole time, and your elbows lock out at the same position that they started with, and that's what's known as a good lift. Now there's a new rule that's come into place, and it's called bench depth, but ultimately it's looking at making sure the elbow comes either in line or below the shoulder, and that's viewed at from the back. So basically ensuring that there's a certain amount of range of motion for the bench press itself. So I hope you have enjoyed this bench press masterclass. So just to cover the key points we've discussed during this masterclass, we've talked about the general setup, leg drive timing, and ensuring that that bar path is going back towards your shoulders. Now, these are tips that I use personally as part of my own development of bench press and my own technique. That doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to work for you, but hopefully you can take little bits from this to know how you can develop your form and your technique that works best for you. If you do have any questions, then please feel free to comment below.